The product comes in 2 separate boxes or cartons labeled top and bottom. You should carry the bottom section of the independence bed into the customer's home first. The boxes come with handholds on each side to assist with the 2-person lift and carry. Remove the banding on the outside of the box with scissors or a blade with a blunt edge. It is not recommended to use box cutters to remove any of the external packaging. Doing so can lead to cutting and damaging the mattress cover and electronic cables. Each top and bottom carton is sleeved. Please remove the top sleeve and peel back the plastic sheet protecting the product. You will then see the underside of the bed with 2 smaller boxes and a user manual. Please place the user manual in a safe location for later reference. The larger of the 2 internal boxes contains the handrails and tools necessary for setup. Please open that box and organize the contents for later use. The smaller of the 2 boxes contains the 4 legs of the bed and 2 AA batteries. Install the 4 legs securely into the corners of the base. Remove the zip tie that is securing the power supply to the frame, and then carefully roll the product over so that it is sitting upright on the legs. Remove the other sleeved portion of the bottom carton. Carefully remove the orange zip tie holding the cables together and remove the 4 hand screw knobs and lock washers on the corners of the metal plate. Please take note that there is a small foot sticker on the metal plate indicating which end of the base is where the customer's feet will lie. Use this to make sure you have the bottom section properly orientated in the room. Also, take note that the base is set up to turn to the customer's left side when lying in the base. In order to do this, there will need to be at least 20 inches of clearance from the wall or any obstacle on what will be the customer's right side. It is possible to change the independence base to turn to the right, and we will cover this later in the video. Next, the top portion of the product will need to be unpackaged. Follow the same directions from previous steps, removing the banding and the top sleeve of the box. Then, cut the tab holding the bottom sleeve of the box and collapse it completely. It will make removing the top section of the base much easier. Once it is open and the plastic sheet is removed, you will see the underside of the top portion of the independence bed. Remove the orange zip ties holding the handrail brackets and place these brackets to the side for later installation. Make sure that the wired remote control is out of the way and does not get caught between the 2 sections of the independence bed. Take note that there is also a foot sticker indicating the end of the bed where the customer's feet will lie. It is important when placing the top section on the bottom section that these 2 align so that the 4 holes utilized by the knob screws match up on both sections. Please make note that as you lift the head section of the bed, it will rise up. This is due to the head actuator or motor using gravity only to retract or lower the bed. Be aware not to forcefully or aggressively lift up on the head end of this bed, as this could damage the head actuator. Once the top section of the base is properly aligned on the bottom section, please use the 4 screw knobs and lock washers previous set aside to secure the 2 halves together. While one person lifts up on the head section of the base, another person will need to connect the cables from the bottom half of the independence to the control box. There are 4 cables that will need to be connected: the power supply, the rotation actuator, and the USB charging ports, 2 of them in total. The control box connectors are designed so that no cable can be plugged into the wrong outlet. Carefully note the routing of the cables after connecting them to the control box, following the same process. Please ensure all other cables that shipped attached to the control box are still securely connected and nothing shifted during transit. Then, carefully lower down the head section. The product is now ready to be tested to ensure proper functionality. Plug the power supply cable into an AC outlet. The LED on the remote will begin blinking slowly. This is an error code telling you the product needs resetting. To do this, press the seat down button 3 times quickly. The head and foot actuator will move upward and then back down, and the LED on the remote will go out. Once this occurs, please test to ensure the product is working correctly. This slow blinking error code will occur anytime the power to the control box is lost. The last step is to install the handrails. Locate the brackets that were removed previously from the top section of the bed and set aside. There is one handrail for each bracket, and they are unique for each side. Lift the spring-loaded knob and slide the handrail down into the bracket as shown. The longest portion of the handrail should be on the same end as the spring-loaded knob. Directly adjacent to the knob will be another hole in the bracket that aligns with the hole in the handrail plate. Please use the Allen key and other small wrench to tighten and secure the handrail into the bracket using the screw, lock washer, and nut. Repeat the same process with the other handrail and bracket. Now they are ready to be placed on the independence base. In order to do this, you will need to loosen the hand screw knobs that will hold them into place. Once they are loose, the handrails should easily slide into place, making sure the longer section of the handrails is toward the foot of the bed. Retighten the hand screw knobs. You can test the handrails now by pulling out on the spring-loaded knob and rotating them upwards. The handrails have the ability to lock into place both in the down and up position. This concludes the setup of your independence base. We hope you enjoyed the bed and would love to receive feedback from all of our customers. Once you have confirmed that the product is fully functional, you can then change the rotation of the base from left to right. To do this, you will need to press and hold the Rotate to Stand button on the remote. The head and foot sections of the base will articulate, and the base will begin to rotate. Once it does begin to rotate, please wait 3 seconds before then letting off the Rotate to Stand button. Now, you should unplug the AC power adapter to ensure none of the electronics are energized. Using the reverse steps to install the top section of the base, uninstall and remove it and set it to the side. 2 things must be done to the product to change the rotation. The stopper that prevents over-rotation will need to be moved from the rotate left to rotate right position, and the rotation actuator needs to be removed and placed on the opposing brackets under the base. The stopper is located on the rotation plate of the bottom section of the base. First, begin by loosening the bolts holding the stopper in place with the provided Allen wrench. Do not move the stopper, only loosen it. The bottom section of the base should then be lifted on its side to easily access and move the rotation actuator. The rotation actuator will be slightly extended and in a position that turns the bed to the left. The rotation actuator will need to be removed and placed in the opposing turning brackets. However, in order for it to fit on the opposing brackets, the rotation plate will need to be turned to the right, the same angle it was stopped to the left. The actuator is held in place on both ends by a pin that is secured with cotter pins. Once removed, use your hands to rotate the plate to the right. Note that when the rotation plate reaches the straight position, the stopper comes into contact with the metal bracket that prevents over-rotation. You will need to slide the stopper up to the rotate right position and then begin rotating the bed around. Once the brackets are in the correct position, turning to the right so that the actuator will fit back into place, it should be installed using the opposite steps previously used to remove it. After reinstalling the rotation actuator, the bottom section of the independence base should be lowered back down with all 4 feet back on the ground. Then, tighten the bolts using the Allen wrench, as the stopper is now in the rotate right position. The top section should then be lifted back up and installed on the bottom section using the previously covered steps. Plug the AC outlet back into the wall and the reset operation will need to be initiated. This again is signified by the slow blinking LED. Once that is complete, the product is now set up to turn to the customer's right side while lying in the bed. Please install the 2 9-volt batteries that were shipped in the box with the bed legs into the power supply. Once they are installed, they will prevent the independence base from needing to be reset in the unlikely occurrence of a power outage.